We just finished reviewing the Makita 10-inch dual-bevel sliding compound miter saw. It's the 18-volt X2 version, which is 36 volts, model number XSL06Z. And at first glance, guys, you'll notice that it has a smaller footprint than most miter saws, and you'll also notice it's got the forward-facing rail system, which right off the bat makes me think that it's a great placement for a workbench up against a wall, tight-quartered job site, or even maybe a hallway or something where you can't, you don't have the room for the rails. So super interested to see what the saw was all about. We mounted it to a Makita WSTo6 compact miter stand, which is really sweet, by the way, and we took it to our job site to evaluate, and then back in here to do some runtime and dust collection tests. It is a direct drive, soft start brushless motor. And Makita has a long history in direct drive motors, which is the most efficient transfer of power from motor to blade. The direct drive gear system, not belt driven, is typically associated with more accurate, responsive, and efficient cutting processes. And without that belt, there's no belt, so without the belt to slip or have to be replaced, you don't get that big kick at startup. So first time I used a saw, first of all, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. My first impression when I used a saw was, wow, super powerful, really smooth operation. The brushless motor delivers 4,400 RPMs, and it is a fast and efficient cutting tool. There is an automatic speed change technology built into this tool, which basically adjusts the cutting torque and speed under load. Makita has two very unique steel forward rail slide system. And basically what they did is they reduced the rails from 4 to 2, and they increased the rails 20% in diameter, making them sturdier, rigid, and more robust. Inside that slide frame are diagonal lines of ball bearings, and that's the secret sauce to why it slides so nice, the head slides. We were super impressed, and we feel it's a really effective design and one that we'll be watching closely over time at the job site. This is a keeper, this saw. There is a switch to operate the laser that shines on the left side of the blade. Laser was dead accurate, bright enough in most daylight conditions, not high sunlight, dead sunlight. Lasers are funny though. Most contractors don't like them, and that's because for many, many years they were not reliable and they were finicky to adjust. This laser is none of those things. When using the miter controls, 2 words sum it up: up front. All of the Makita 10-inch sliding miter controls are up front. And look, Makita recognized that their peers and competitors are all going to upfront controls, and that's what users are asking for. That's what we want. The miter saw miters from 0 to 60 left and right with positive stops at all the ones, 0, 15, 22.5, 31.6, 45, and 60, left and right. The bevel lock is at the front of the saw, easy access, and that'll go from 0 to 48 degrees, left and right. The cutting depth, you'll get 2 13/16 by 12 inches at 90 and 2 13/16 by 8.5 inches at 45. As far as dust collection goes, look, in the past, dust collection was not a focus for manufacturers. I've always felt that dust ports were like LED lights. Tool manufacturers threw them on the tool just to say they had the feature. Dust ports, like many of those LED lights, neither worked well nor were they efficient. So today that's changing, and many manufacturers are pushing innovation towards dust collection. This is all driven by requests by us and demanded by us. The trend, without a doubt, is to make tools more efficient at capturing dust. We're seeing this now with silica dust, and also can appreciate having less dust at the end of the day to clean up. Additionally, when you think about what I do in remodeling, an effective dust extraction system is a solid tactic to preventing dust from spreading to other areas of the house. We all know that dust inevitably finds its way beyond the remodeling area, and it'll settle on horizontal surfaces. So anything we can do, I guess what I'm trying to say, to prevent that additional cleanup makes it easier for us at the end of the day, but also makes us look more professional. Makita recognized this trend for improved dust collection, and they worked hard to improve their process. They designed a dual port dust capturing system. Pretty cool. It looks different. There's 2 hoses. When connected to a dust extractor, it captures dust exceptionally well. Captures it at the blade and also down by the table. As far as runtime on this saw, we used it for an entire week. 2 batteries, making cuts on and off all day. Not a whole lot of cuts, but there was 0 issues with runtime. We also tested it here in the shop and we achieved 130 cuts out of 2x12 framing lumber. We made sure that the saw came to a complete stop after each cut, and we took approximately 5 seconds to make each cut and about 5 seconds to adjust the wood to make a second cut. And we made 10 cuts in a row and then would rest the tool for a minute. So every 10 cuts would rest a minute until we got to 130 cuts, until it would not make it through one cut. I will say, if you're going to buy this saw, you're going to want a second set of batteries to swap out, just so you don't have to deal with that. I talked a little bit about that auto change speed technology, and basically it senses denser material and delivers more power automatically by changing the speed and the torque towards the cutting speed. This feature was added to match the battery to the motor, all really designed for better efficiency for the tool runtime. It's all about cordless tools. Corded tools don't have this. They run at full power all the time. By regulating this motor speed, the tool is way more efficient on its battery usage, and that's why Makita is using this technology. I want to talk about the fence system. The Makita saw has a 4 3/4 inch tall fence system. Previous model saws, the LS016 family, had been criticized heavily because of the fence wobbliness, or the rigidity was questioned. This new saw has an integrated fixed fence that is larger, stronger, and taller. It allows you to make, well, for instance, you can do 6 5/8 inch nested crown cuts. You can do vertical base at 5 1/4 inches, and you can cut a 4 inch by 12 inch piece of wood, like a beam, at 90 degrees. As far as using the saw, I said we use it on a whole house window replacement project. We were doing inside outside trim, PVC, we did clapboards, variety of materials. I found it lightweight and compact. It's 60 pounds, and it's lightweight and compact, but Makita made it sturdy. It's robust. All of the controls are solid and really well done. I especially loved the saw head rail lock. It's kind of a spring twist button, as well as the head pivot lock, and both are spring loaded and way better designed than the plastic screw knobs that other saws have. The rail lock, for instance, when you're sliding the saw back and locking it, is way better than any other rail lock I've ever used. I also really liked the angle adjustment. As you're angling the saw, you can hear little clicks, click, 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 click. It just feels precise. It's smooth and it indexes at each angle. Very nice touch. There is no doubt that this saw was designed for a pro contractor and is capable to be used daily under rugged conditions. No doubt in my mind. I'm a huge proponent of tool manufacturers maintaining a platform as well, and I really like that Makita stayed in their 18-volt platform. They had to add 2 batteries to do it, but they did it, and they stayed in that 18-volt platform. I guess, what else? The nice features. The upfront controls were awesome. No reaching behind to bevel the tool. We found the forward sliding rail smooth. It absolutely reeks of quality, and there was no slop in the saw head, which is impressive because a lot of those sliding rails have that. It also stored nicely in the van because of the forward rails. As far as improvements go for Makita, there's not much to pick on the saw about, but I do wish Makita would add a light. I like the lights on the miter saws now, and I wish they would have some sort of a low battery indicator letting you know that you need to change the batteries. There is nothing worse than being in the middle of an expensive money cut, cutting some crown molding, and the blade stops. DeWalt designed their work light to actually flash when the battery's low, so maybe Makita could look at an approach like that. We all commented that the laser on both sides of the blade would be a worthwhile feature than just having on the left side of the blade, and our crew also commented that they would like the light and laser trigger activation. I think that would be kind of cool. As far as cost, the Makita miter saw is competitively priced. It's a real nice value proposition at $539. That's a bare tool, guys. Overall impression, look, Years ago, Makita was the go-to company for woodworkers and carpenters. That's all they had. They ran the market. In the last decade, Makita has taken their foot off the gas and clearly lost market share to DeWalt. Well guys, guess what? They're back on the pedal and they're merging onto the highway. This saw will impress you. From its size, power, upfront controls, easy access controls, and intuitive design, it will not disappoint. We've added it to our complement. In fact, it's in Brian's van right now. He won't give it back. All I have to say about this tool is welcome back, Makita. Well done. I'm Rob Robillard. If you've enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about this saw, the article is on toolboxbuzz.com. Please click on that button right below to subscribe to the channel. We'll see you at the next review. Take care.